Good morning and welcome to your Friday with me, Hayley. Here's what we've got in store for you today. These are the fastest wingsuit flyers in the world, and the pygmy hippo taking to the water for the first time in Australia. This is Newsround. First up, imagine being put on a very important list with the likes of David Attenborough, Chris Packham and Steve Backshall. Well, that's exactly what 13-year-old birdwatcher Finley's achieved. He's one of 50 people helping to change the natural environment over the next 20 years. So Aisha went to meet him.
Soaring in the sky, perching on those trees and even waking us up in the morning. The UK has loads of different birds and I've come to meet Finley, who's going to show me where he does his best bird watching. Is that where you see some of the birds, just like kind of on the riverbank?
Oh yeah, on the river, yeah, there's always...
What got you into bird watching? Why do you like it?
Well, I mean, I've always been outside, I've always been in the countryside, I love the outdoors, and I first started watching birds when I was about 6 years old. Looking out my window, I started putting some feeders up, and since then I started writing a blog, I've got a Twitter account.
What is it about birds, what is it about these creatures that you like so much?
For starters, it's different, so it's just amazing to be around them. And I mean, not many people at all are interested in them, not many people pay attention to them.
The robin's been voted Britain's favourite bird. What's your reaction?
Well, I gotta say, I'm slightly disappointed.
Oh no, what's wrong with the robin? It's got that red thing going on, it's cool.
It probably got the vote because you see it every day in gardens and towns, and of course it's advertised a lot on Christmas cards.
What would you have liked instead?
I would have loved to have the hen harrier, almost extinct in England, and so definitely one we need to protect.
Finley certainly knows his birds, and I want to know why it's so important to care about them. Mark Ward is from the RSPB.
Birds are one of the most visible forms of our wildlife, and sadly a lot of birds aren't as common as they used to be. But the good news is we can all do our bit to give nature a home. We can help them in our gardens. We can do things like letting a bit of grass grow long so there's more insects there. You can build a pond, you can plant some wild flowers.
Loads we can do to help then. Charities and bird watchers hope that by getting people excited about birds, it'll mean that we'll look after them for years to come.
Thank you, Aisha. In football news now, England's under-21s had a disappointing start in the European Championship after losing 1-0 to Portugal. Now, they've never lost a competitive match before. They still have to face Sweden and Italy.
We'll go away from this and we'll look at things we can do better. I don't think we played too bad tonight. We created some good chances. The keeper made some good saves, so it's quite an even test. But that's tournament football, and obviously they go away with the 3 points and we don't. So we got to deal with it and, like I say, do as well as we can on Sunday.
Right, let's look at some other top stories this morning. They're like giant bats, but they're the fastest wingsuit flyers in the world. They've been competing at 13,000 feet in the skies over Wiltshire in the first ever World Championships. They reach up to 200 miles an hour and they're judged on how far they travel. Now take a look at this for a stunt and a half. Two British pilots have for the first time ever successfully flown their planes together through a hangar at 185 miles per hour. Paul Bonham and Steve Jones recorded the world first in North Wales. And people had to wade through knee-high water in South London on their way to school and work this morning. A massive water pipe burst outside New Malden Station last night and nearby homes didn't have any water, but the leak is now mended. And this pygmy hippo calf is called Obi and has taken to the water for the first time. He's now 3 weeks old and he went for a swim with his mum at Melbourne Zoo. But he was soon off exploring on his own. His keepers say that Obi is getting stronger every day. He's expected to grow to 75 centimetres tall and will weigh 250 kilos. That's a quarter of the size of a normal hippo. Now, I bet that you didn't know that some wild kangaroos are left-handed. Yep, that's when they're grooming and when they're feeding. Researchers watched the animals for hours and hours and found that 2 types of kangaroo and 1 wallaby never use their right paw. They say it's the first time they have seen this in any other species other than in humans, who are mostly right-handed. Well, you can go online to find out what the next big thing in gaming is, and I'll be back in half an hour. Bye-bye.